Just wanted to show you the inventory of the woods that I keep on hand for the most part. Always have black walnut, and black walnut's just a classic American wood, really beautiful grain, but always have that in stock. Another wood I usually have quite a bit of is padauk, and this is a lot lighter colored padauk, more sapwood growth. And here, yellow heart. Yellow heart's very dense, keeps a nice yellow color for the entire life of the wood. It doesn't darken like Osage does. So if you want a yellow color in your slingshot, yellow heart's really great for that. And of course, always have purple heart. You like to use purple heart as a core. It's a nice accent, and it's a very strong wood, so it makes a nice face wood as well. I've got some really interesting pieces. This has got a little bit of curl to it, but always have lots of purple heart. Another one I usually have on hand is zebra wood, which is really pretty wood. You can see here different variations in the grain, and it takes a really nice finish. Okay. Another wood that's very available to me here in the southeast is ambrosia maple, and this comes from our local maple, red, I think Acer rubrum. It's not as hard as like rock maple, but still very tough wood and also quite pretty. Here's a piece of some wood that I keep in stock. This is quarter sawn white oak. It just has a really nice fleck. This is only for smaller slingshots right now. I've got one piece of really great curly cherry. You can see that curl coming out right there. That's going to be a nice one. Another wood that I like to work with is wingy, and this is from Africa. A very dark wood. It's got really deep pores, so it takes a lot to finish it. So this is a premium wood. Another wood I enjoy working with, and oftentimes we use as a core or just accent wood, is this wood here. This is heart pine, and this is grown around Minnesota. It was harvested in the late 1800s, so it's all first growth according to the chain of records I've got from it. But this wood has some really interesting history. These were actually timbers that were in the Sears Roebuck warehouse. You can actually see a hole there where a fastener went through it. And this has all been resawed. So, beautiful wood. A wood that I work with a fair amount here. This is Kaya mahogany, or African mahogany. And that's not a real good sample of it there, but some more really nice cherry. This is curly too, but got much different grain about it. It doesn't show as much of the waviness. It just has more of the textured grain. Really attractive. And another wood I have on hand pretty much all the time is Brazilian walnut, or ipe. And this is a very, very dense wood, very high on the Jenka scale. It's actually got a very high specific gravity, so it'll sink in water. So this is some really rock hard stuff, and it's a beautiful wood as well. Very subtle, but it takes a very high polish and looks good either as a core, which I use it mostly for its weight and its strength, but it also looks good as a face wood. It is a little on the brittle side, so it does have to be laminated. This wood here is spalted maple, and I'm not real sure if that's one of our local maples or if this is a rock maple. It is quite a bit heavier, but a very pretty wood. Next up here, this is just a one piece that I've got. This is would be best for face laminations. This is a rosewood, and these are both rosewoods actually. I don't know which species is which. I got in a trade. I just had to have them. They're just too pretty not to make a slingshot out of. So I've got those two. Another wood that I generally have in stock. This is Argentinian Osage orange, and it's in the acacia family. I'm fairly certain, just like American Osage. Looks very similar, except it doesn't darken quite as quickly or as dark. It'll maintain more of its yellow color with time. Here's another wood that I always have on hand. I've got lots of this. This is American chestnut. This is wormy chestnut. This was another reclaimed wood, came out of a barn here in western North Carolina. We're still able to get that around here because the wood is so rot resistant. But it's a very beautiful wood when finished. It takes on a really warm glow. It complements, in my opinion, walnut very nicely. It's a beautiful combination in the slingshot. You can see here the actual wormholes. And this was caused, we had a chestnut blight that killed all the chestnut trees on the East Coast over a period of about 50 or 60 years. And now there's no more big ones. They'll grow up about 15 feet tall and die back because of this fungus or blight. But anyhow, these are the wormholes where the insects started to eat on it, because a lot of farmers would cut these standing dead trees and build their barns out of it. So this was just a barn timber that I had resawed, and this is all quarter sawn here, so you get some really nice look at the grain. Here's another wood that I've got a fair amount of. This is spalted poplar from my area, and poplar is a fairly light colored wood and doesn't have a lot of character until it gets spalted. So this is going to make some really nice slingshots here. Alright, let's see back here. This is a laminate that's already been done up. You guys might have seen some slingshots made from this piece already. But this is spalted maple on the top, and it has a lacewood core with black walnut on either side. So, really pretty. Alright, here's some woods that can be used for accents for either palm swells or fork tip overlays or any small accent pieces. So the first one we've got here, this one is an Australian species. It's either curly eucalyptus or curly gum. I'm not 100% on that, but it's extremely dense and it takes a gorgeous polish. I mean, this is just rough cut and you can see how much curl there is in it. So this makes a really nice palm scale. I like that a lot. Here's another wood I use a lot in place of ebony. This is African blackwood, extremely dense, extremely black. You can hardly discern the grain in it, so it's a really classy looking wood. Another wood that I like to use is a local wood to me. This is a sycamore, and I'm not sure if it's any different than a sycamore that grows in the UK, but this sycamore, this is quarter sawn, and it shows some just gorgeous fleck. So a real favorite wood. I like to use that a lot in accents, and it looks really good in between layers of other woods, depending on how it's cut. Another wood that I always have quite a bit of is cocobolo, especially in the smaller sizes. There's a piece that's really dark. It's my understanding that this cocobolo, same wood, but it came from more Central American area. I don't know if there's a big difference there, but another wood expert told me that this one here came from more south into South America, and this is more Central America. Who knows? But again, here's another piece of cocobolo here, the orangey stuff, then of course the darker. So I always have lots of that on hand. Another beautiful wood, pink ivory. And this wood is not so impressive grain-wise, but the way it takes a finish, it's just a gorgeous finish. So I generally don't have too much of that, and it's a high-dollar wood. Another of my favorite woods is Bocote. And Bocote takes a great finish, shows a lot of character. This is all quarter sawn. You can really see the variations in grain. But I always have Bocote on hand. Another wood I like a lot is kingwood. Extremely hard. I believe this is in the Dalbergia family as well, but on the, one of the hardest of the species. And it displays a very beautiful purple tones when it's finished up. And I've got it several blocks of it, so I can either cut it bias cut or quarter saw it or even flat cut to get the variation of grain. But really attractive wood, takes a very high finish. I like it a lot. Here we have I've got a fair bit of this too, Bolivian rosewood. Not always the most spectacular grain, but it's one of those woods that the finish is, you can just look into it forever. It just takes a great polish. Let's see, this one here I believe is more Bolivian rosewood, just a different orientation. This is flat sawn. This is quarter sawn. And then this one here, I am at a loss. I cannot remember what this piece of wood is. I traded someone for it, but it's extremely, extremely dense. It's got a great tone when you tap it. Another wood that I like to keep on hand when I can is thuja. And thuja is very hard for us to find here. I understand that it's no longer allowed to be exported out of the Middle East where it grows, so I like to use that as accents as well. And then I also have some beautiful buckeye burl. I've got all sorts of pieces of this. All of this is spalted. This is a very light wood, so I suggest it in accent pieces. But it shows a great character once it's polished up. Right now it's not looking so great. Got another one here. But you can kind of see that that's got some character to it. So, alright, another really beautiful combo I've got here. This is some spalted dogwood. that my good friend Ray Shot gave me. I'm really excited about working with this. I've made one slingshot from it so far. I used it for the palm swells and the fork tip overlays. But just dogwood is extremely dense and hard. And again, it's another one of those woods that just takes a fantastic finish. You can kind of see what you're going to work with. Wet the wood here. But that one's going to be available as well. And then we got one more here. This is a laminate that is already made up. It's a Paduke core with Kaya mahogany on either side, then black walnut, and then on the surface zebra wood. So multi laminate. And this is a fairly thick frame in the cross section, so this will make a nice big beefy slingshot. So got enough wood there to do one slingshot. Alright, I constantly have new woods coming through, so I'll keep you posted, and thanks for looking.